Welcome to Teacher Tips with Mr. Long, and in this video we're going to show you how you can do a symbol distribution in your SASAMS exported spreadsheet. Now, if you've got a little bit of knowledge on Excel, you can do this. Even if you're not 100% sure, you can literally just pause the video and copy exactly what I type and follow the instructions, and you should, even with a basic level of Excel, be able to do this. So what we want to do is, when you take a SASAMS spreadsheet, which we've exported, this is a dummy one. I've added random values and random people. Yes, these people don't exist. I'm going to look particularly at this column, the level column, and I want to have a way of finding out how many 7s and 6s and 5s and 4s there are. So the symbol distribution for the levels. Now, if I've got a small spreadsheet, then it's very easy to just count them. But if I've got lots of records, I could easily make mistakes. So that's why it's very important to have some sort of calculation that's done for you. What I'm also going to do is try to do it in such a way that we can just copy and paste this into our other SASAMS spreadsheet so that it will work for whatever one we use. So please take note of where I'm going to be doing the symbol distribution, because that's very important, because wherever I do it, I need to do it in a relatively same place in the other spreadsheets. So over here on this side, I'm going to leave a little blank column here, and then over here I'm going to type in level for the level, and there I'm going to say the number of students. So that's what I basically want to do. And so I want to have level 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So those are the levels that I want. I want to count how many 7s there are over here in this little block. So I'm going to say equals. And this is the formula I'm going to use. I'm going to use what's called a COUNTIF formula. So take note, on that block over there, I've typed in equal to, then I've typed in the word COUNTIF. One word. And this is a special formula in Excel. If you want to learn more about it, there will be a link above for you to click on. But here I want to click on I need the range and the criteria. The range is where we're looking for the information, and the criteria is what are we looking for. So where we're looking for the level, I'm looking for all these numbers that I'm looking. I'm going to look through them, and I'll just go slightly above it. It's in the J column. Now in your spreadsheet, it might be a different column. It might not be in the J column. It might be over here by O, but you just look at which one it is. In my case, it's the J column. So I'm going to type in J:J, and you'll see that it's highlighted the level column. Now in your spreadsheet, if it was O, you go O colon J, colon O, sorry. So make sure that you've got that particular, whatever the column letter is, that's the one you use. Then I'm going to press a comma, and then I'm going to select the block that contains the levels. In this case, I want to look at level 7, which is in that block. I'm going to literally just click on it. So after you've put the comma, just click on it. So look at the formula. It's the column that we're looking in. That's the blue column there, comma, then the block that contains the number that I want to find in this scenario. I just want to look for the number 7 in this scenario. So that's all you have to do. And then I'm going to close the bracket, and that's the formula. So we have 6 7s apparently. So if I look through here, let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's all. So there are 6 7s. So that's great. I'm going to just center this so that it's nice and lined up there. So there we go. So we've got a formula, and the beauty of this formula is that I can literally move my mouse. You see it's a white cross. When I move it to when it's a black cross, I can then click down and drag that formula down to the other blocks, and it will work for all the other blocks without me having to do any other changes. So that's why it's very important to make sure that you get your first formula right. And what I always do, just as a double check, is I put a total at the bottom, and I'm going to put this formula in at the bottom, and it goes equals sum. You can see the formula here as well, equals sum, and I'm going to drag over these numbers here. And the reason why I do this is because I want to just make sure that I've got the right amount of value. So I want to double check that if I've got a symbol distribution from 1 to 7 for all the students, then that number should be the number of students that I've got in total, which in this case is 30, which is correct in this case. So there we go. Now you've got a nice little symbol distribution, and you can do things to make it look pretty. So for example, you can put in borders and all those types of things if you're going to print this. But if you're just using it for the actual values, then that's fine as well. So you can actually do some funky stuff like that. Okay, and make it a bit bigger as well. Cool. Okay, so that's your symbol distribution. All done. Okay, great. So it works. Now what happens if I've got another spreadsheet? Over here I've got a second one. And here it's not the J column that's got the level, it's the O column. Well, all you have to do now that you've got it working perfectly, just take note. We we left a blank column open, and then the next one in line with the top row where the gray row is. That's where I started the first block. So I'm literally going to just drag my mouse over all of this. I'm going to right click and copy it. So right click, copy. Okay. And now when I go to the other spreadsheet, I'm going to go to the exact same corresponding place. I look for the last, there's the last bit. I'm going to leave a blank column out, and then in line with the gray, I'm going to click over there. In this case, we're in the R column, and I'm just going to click over here on the paste. And it will paste in that lovely little block that we did, and you'll notice the numbers are different. So if I click over here, if I just click on the formula, you'll notice it's still referring to the right column, because in this case it's the O column. It changed the formulas for me, and it works perfectly. And are there 45 students in this spreadsheet? Yes, there are. So there's a little check there. So once you've got it right the first time, you literally just have to copy that little block and paste it, making sure you paste it in the right place for every one of your spreadsheets that you've exported from SASAMS. So there we go. So that's a nice little way of doing symbol distribution with your exported SASAMS spreadsheets. So just recap the little formulas we did. So the formula, so we first put in our headings. We went from 7 down to 1, and in the first block by the 7, I put a formula equals countf, then whatever the column number is that has the level, so O colon O in this case, because that's where the level is. Then you put a comma, don't forget the comma, and then you refer to the block that contains the 7 in your table, that block there, that R11. You just have to click on it and then close the bracket, and then you press enter. Then it's done. Then you move your mouse right from the white cross till it becomes a black cross, and then you drag it down, and then at the bottom I'll put a nice little total just to double check. And the total formula, if you remember, was equals sum, and then open bracket, and then you drag your mouse over all the blocks that contain the how many number of students for all the levels, and then you close the bracket and press enter, and then you've got a nice little total. Once you've done that, you've got it all working. For more teacher tips from Mr. Long, go to our YouTube channel, click on that subscribe button, leave a comment about what we can show you that can help you as a teacher, and remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.